Good morning. It's Monday morning, and here you are again. Yay for you. You remembered it's Monday, and that means you got to get up and get going and start your week. And since you are working from home like we are, you know that sometimes you need a little kick in the rear, and that's what we're here for, to help you stay on track and stay motivated. And we have really cool stuff today. So I'm not going to talk too long. We're not even going to say hi to James or Linda. We'll give them a chance to do that later. We're going to dive right in and introduce to you Mr. Bill Stierle. And first, I want to wave a couple things, because you know I'm always waving books at you. So here's one, and here's another one. Now, these are not Bill's books. These are books that Bill lives by and trains by because he hasn't gotten around to writing his book yet. But this one will teach you all about how different thinking styles affect different interactions and how we make crazy choices, sometimes based on the way our brain works and not based on the fact that we're crazy. So it's important stuff to know if you're wanting to be able to communicate better, which most of us do. And nonviolent communication, same thing. Being able to communicate with heart so that we actually help each other instead of turn each other off. These are his areas of expertise. He's amazing. And today he's going to talk to us a little bit about how we can communicate and think in the ways that our customers do so that we can get those customers to keep buying from us and enjoy being in a business relationship with us. So I hope I've set it up adequately. Bill, why don't you say hi, and I will double check my little email list. And James and Linda, when you are craving a question, just dive on in and say who you are and then say, hey, Bill, tell me about this. So Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. It's been great. It's great to be here and just to be invited to the show and just kind of being able to contribute to everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a great time today. So customer intention. If I'm going to dive right into this subject, one of the biggest challenges that we have in dealing with customers is that are we dealing with, is it a product sequence or is it a service sequence? So there's two different things. Is that if I'm just selling a whatever it is, a pen, here's this pen. What's the next thing am I going to sell the customer after this pen? Well, if they're just looking for a pen because they need something to write with, that is great. Well, how about if this pen had a pad of paper that was writing on it too? So that there is, something, something that would really make a big difference. So that if there is something in the product pipeline in order to keep the customer coming back. This is a lot of times in the product business. These are the way sales are used. We're having a sale on this type of car. Why? One, because we want to let you know that this new car is available and that this new feature is on this new car. And so it gives you a reason why to be in relationship with us rather than go to another car dealership that has just enticed you with their new car, with their new features and their new benefits.
So okay. Bill, just for a second, when you were waving the pen, not just paper, but maybe different color inks or a new way to do it with a wider tip or whatever to keep them like, I'm so glad I bought this pen because I can do all these other things with it that I didn't know when I first bought it. Is that kind of?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's like how many different inks or how many different, if there is another upsell for a pen, it's like that pen company needs to come up with what the other upsell is for the pen. So is it, this pen, comes in multiple colors? Is this pen has a finer tip to it? You like Sharpies. Well, how about Sharpies with a fine tip? No, how about Sharpies with a broad tip? How about Sharpies made specifically for calligraphy? All of a sudden my consciousness, my creativity is starting to go here at whatever 8 a.m. in the morning for me, is I'm trying to generate, well, what is the next upsell or the product offering? Now this is really interesting when it comes to service offerings. Service offerings is, here's this box, this shiny box, okay, and I'm going to just there's stuff in this box, and this is my service offering. Now, the person is looking at the box and wants to open it. That's called anticipation. I know there's something in there, there's a reward in there inside that box. I have an anticipation about what I'm going to get out of that service offering. So I can have a offering of a 12-hour coaching package, but what is in this box that's in this offering? What's going to be this feature and benefit that's so compelling that the customer is willing to exchange their money and money energy for this offering. Now, they've bought the box once. Well, what's the next size box? What do you have? What's this other box here? Now, is that box prepared? Is it ready to go? And what's different in this box? And then finally, the third box in the equation. What's the third box? Those boxes can be stretched over a short amount of time or a year or two or three. These are the different boxes, and these are the different elements. Different customers of mine are not ready to buy the third box. They would like to buy the third box. Give me the entire third box. It's like you haven't even got through box number 1 yet. I can't sell you box number 3. And by the way, until you buy box number 1, all I can talk to you about is box number 1, because you can't get a hold of box 3 and all the content that's in there.
So, again, I invite my co-host to dive in, but I think what you might be saying there is that at least some of the time, if you have a service package, just particularly coaching is what we're talking about right now, but maybe others, sometimes the upsell is dependent on buying that first lower level service and actually, it's like going to college. You can't go to grad school until you've done your undergrad. And I would think that sometimes that's not true, that sometimes there is a bigger package, you want me for a year and we're going to do all this stuff that you could just dive right into right away. But sometimes not. And so as service providers, we need to be thinking about both of those. What kind of service can I offer that they must have in order to logically move to the next one, and what can I offer that they can just dive in and buy right now that will make us both happy. Did I hear you right?
Yeah, pretty much so. It's like, what is your first service offering? And the customer might not be able to buy that small service offering for $39 or for $295 or for $375. They can't buy it because they can't afford it. They can't get out. They can't generate enough money energy and adjust that. If I just don't buy Starbucks for a month, I have enough to buy Bill's initial package.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really, really. But they can't adjust that because they're drinking their Starbucks or whatever coffee or whatever. Yeah, I guess that. So the challenge is that the person's our belief structure around value, our belief structure around what is most important. Am I going to pick the need for taste, or am I going to pick the need for health? Well, if I pick the need for taste, the cookie is in my mouth before I even know it. If I pick the need for health, then I'm saying I'm going to delay this sugar rush and this impulse because I've decided I'm going to pick health today instead of picking taste today. Now, I'm not saying that this particularly is easy because the way the brain is designed is not that way. The brain is designed as impulse, emotional impulse, lower right part of the brain, and habit, long-term memory, lower left part of the brain. I will remember a chocolate chip cookie, the taste of it, and way over what my logical brain is saying up on the front part of my brain, saying, you know, logically speaking, that's not a good health choice for you because didn't you say last week that you wanted to lose some weight? Didn't you say you wanted to feel better and not have as much sugar? Too late. The elephant part of the brain is different than the little rider that's sitting on top. So our customer is struggling with the same thing. What is the customer struggling with? Well, they need to get a habit of using us. And
Mm.
then we've got to keep giving them an experience of a habit of using us and reminding them of the good reason why using us was a good thing to do. And that's called a handful of peanuts. So I have an elephant. The back part of our brain has, the front part of our brain where logic and future thinking is, has 400,000 neural connections. The back part of our brain has 4.3 million connections. So it's a 1 to 10 ratio. A 1:10 ratio, your logical brain and your future brain doesn't have a chance.
Okay, so now I want to translate again.
Please do.
So what Bill's talking about, and of course he'll feel free to correct me if I get it not quite right. The back of our brain is our most primitive part of our brain. It's, you know, they call it the reptilian brain sometimes, or part of it the reptilian brain. It's where we just automatically respond and react, and that part is he's calling an elephant, which means, you know, you got an elephant raging, it's pretty hard to stop it. And we got a little trainer on top that's trying to get the elephant to do what it wants. That represents the front of our brain where we actually think and control and get logical. And that part is not, you know, it's very powerful, but if the elephant's running the show, we're going to eat the cookie, we're going to, you know, react impulsively, which might mean we buy that coaching package one time, but if we don't do that habit, get that habit going automatically,
That's right.
we're not going to want to keep coming back for more. And so the peanuts are the little bits that the trainer gives the elephant to get the elephant to say, hey, you know, I don't know for sure, but every time I hang out with this trainer guy, it's fun, and I get
That's
these
right.
peanuts. So I think I'll just keep following him. Whenever I see him, I'm going to hook up. Did I
That's
kind of get it?
That's right. And you know what I really appreciate what you've done for everybody too, is that you've really, that's how we've got to not only do it for our customers in order to keep them retention wise, but we've got to do it with ourselves with our own habit patterns. It's like we need to drop or change or adjust our story. Like, here's a simple story. I don't have the money yet. That I hear that story 5 times a day. 5 times a day, at least. I'm not ready for you yet. Ready? The heck! You don't need to be ready. You need just to eat the peanuts I'm handing you and follow me, and I'll get you over there. You said you want to go over there. Here's some peanuts. Let's go over there. Oh, yeah, no, you know what? It just, you know, I've got to pay this other bill. No, no, you don't. Your story is telling you pay this. Your story is telling you I don't have the team. Your story is made up whatever, your elephant is made up, your rider and your elephant have made up whatever story to knock you off the path. Here it comes, for protection, familiarity, safety. I don't want to change my beliefs. I'd rather run this company into, I swear to God, if this didn't happen last week, I'd rather run this company into the legal chaos that I'm about ready to take it into. I swear to God, I'm sitting across from this owner, and that's what they're doing. They're going to run it into a 2.5 year, I swear to God, 2.5 year dental appointment of extraction, of legal drilling on the teeth day after day of legal thinking about it and ruminating about it and making the other co-owner wrong. And then the co-owner gets to tell their story back to the other co-owner. They are going to suffer. Why? Because their habit brain tells them to. I'm familiar with suffering. I don't want to take this new path.
Well,
So here's the yeah. So anyway,
no, I was just going to say, and I struggle with wanting to say something and wanting to let you talk, but uh,
yeah,
the the caveat here is that I think sometimes that elephant is just a knot ball of pride and ego and an unwillingness to let someone give someone else a little control.
yeah,
And that's that fear. That's that unknown. I mean, when you were saying that, I was just thinking of an episode of The Prophet that I was watching the other day. Here's this guy's coming in, and he's willing to throw down all the money you need and then some, and that person is still fighting
yes,
this opportunity.
yes,
And yeah, I mean, so it really is. I think the hardest thing, especially for someone who's entrenched in a process or in
yes,
whether it's a process of success that they're in or they're starting to experience a lot of failure or a
yeah,
lot of difficulty. And I actually went through that with my company in San Diego. I had investors coming to that literally wanted to that all they wanted to do is look at the books to see what the company was worth to make me an offer, and
yep,
I wouldn't even give them. I didn't even want them to see the books
yep,
because I
yeah.
was afraid that I was going to lose my little nugget.
That's correct. Think of it this way too, James. That's a great piece of it, and that's about how do we restore our need for trust? How do we restore and make trust a safe thing that we don't just give trust out like we're giving out free candy. It's like, no, trust is I need some certainty with that trust. I need clarity with trust. I need understanding with trust. I'm going to ask multiple people about trust. And once we get used to that function, our retention and our business build does one of these jumps because we've restored trust. Number one, like you said, the ego's got to, our own respect has got to get out of the way. Our own identity has got to back off a little bit. And once it does that, then things go better.
And it's not just about trusting someone else. It's really about trusting your own gut. You're trusting yourself to make a good decision.
That's right.
That decision to let go or that decision to do something is a safe decision, or it's you're not going to disappear in a puff of smoke.
Right.
Which I literally think some people, whether it's conscious or not, that's kind of that core. It's almost a terror.
It is. It really, really is. It's very, very significant. Our need for trust is one of the most important needs for us to look at daily. What am I extending trust? Am I willing to let go of a belief that doesn't work? Am I going to replace that belief with a belief that does work to keep me from defaulting back to the old belief? I'm going to go to the old belief again. So very, 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 very important stuff regarding retention. And the handful of peanuts, by the way, is so important. It's with the writer, it's small messages. Go a little right, go a little left. Little right, little left, little more left, little over here. And then the elephant, a handful of peanuts. Hey, look at you just did that. Fantastic. Look at that is going a little bit better. And if you because the elephant can get scared very quickly. I mean, with my two business owners, the elephant got scared, sat down, and said, "Listen, we're going to go in a different direction." I'm going like, "You are screwed." I knew they were screwed. Yeah, we're going to go in a different direction. I was going like, "Oh man, yeah, I don't want to be a part of that." And they'll just, I mean, they'll, they're in trouble, is what they are. But that's okay. That's a part of what their physiology's got to go through, what their possible point of healing needs to go through. Family-owned business, it's going to struggle. So we'll
Well,
see.
guess what, you guys? As usual, we're almost out of time. We have 8 minutes left, 9 minutes left, and I wanted to make sure that, Bill, I know you had lots of ideas, and this is always the way it goes. But we do have people watching who may be saying, okay, I kind of get this idea of peanuts, that I got to give my people peanuts, and that I've got to be thinking ahead and developing the stuff that they will want in the future so that they come back and I've built a habit and they buy from me. Anything more specific that you can offer them along the lines of how to find those, how to investigate your customer enough to pretty much be sure that you know what it is they're going to want next, and so you can wave it in front of them. Where's
That's
your
positively the best question you can ask right now. Here's the thing that I keep putting in front of my clients. I ask them an out-of-the-box question to get them to first get the heck out of their elephant brain. And I'll say this sentence: what will make your life wonderful? Question mark. If something I can say or do in this next set of moments right now to make your life wonderful, what are you working on and what do you need the help with most? I'll figure out the product or service after they answer the question. I'll figure it out. I will put a shiny box right in front of them as soon as they answer the what would make your life wonderful question. Now, people struggle with that question because the last time we've dealt with the word wonderful is when we were in kindergarten. That's the last time we've dealt with the word wonderful. Isn't life wonderful? Look at all these new people here. Look at this teacher person that's relatively nice. They give me food here, snacks. They can let me take a nap here. They have interesting things around the room for me to discover and learn. You know what? It's kind of wonderful around here. That's the last time we've practiced wonderful. That's why us adult people have a hard time dealing with what would make our life wonderful. We've got to become kindergartners immediately in that second. And then all of a sudden it's like, and the adults, I don't know how to be wonderful. I just got to do a job. I got to make some money. I got to pay mortgage. I got to, make sure my kids go to college. I've got to do this thing. Oh, I've got this special thing. I'm on the committee for this. It's like, for God's sake, is any of that making your life wonderful? No. Well, kinda. I'm kinda happy with it. So, so what would make your life wonderful is a really important intention question to get our customers to be focused on, because it's going to give us the next step of what the offering is going to be. So if Sarah says, I want to get this thing, I'll say, really? I just came across this thing that'll get you that thing. Do you want to get that thing? Well, I don't know. Wait a minute. Do you want the thing or not? Do you want the thing or not? What would make your life wonderful? Well, if I did do that thing. No, you know what? I want this thing, but not unless there's conditions on top of this thing. I'm going like, why don't you just get the thing and see what you do with after you get the thing, because it's going to get you this thing, and then it said you want to make your life wonderful. Well, the thing has conditions. It's like, and that's what our brain does. It fights with itself so much. Fights with itself. And that's called a rumination pattern. And we want to keep our brains out of rumination, thinking the same thought in the same way day after day, minute after minute.
And I think understanding that is a process not only we go through, but our customers go through that. And so if we can be sensitive to that,
right,
that will help us language, like you just said, what is that, what am I going to sell, what am I going to offer, what can I give here? And you don't know that unless you listen, unless you ask those kind of questions.
Right.
So it's really, it is a two-way road.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, once again, one of the answers to our question is go ask your customers. You know, you want to know what they want? Go ask them. Don't think you can read their minds and say, okay, this is the pen that everybody wants. Go ask them, the people that write, what do they like in a pen? Oh, really? You want to have purple ink? No idea. I thought you wanted black. And in a specific way, by throwing out that word wonderful to really get them going, what? Life could be wonderful? Let me see. Because
Right.
I know that's the effect it has on me. When was the last time I thought I could dream about what I wanted to do? I mean, that's what
Right.
happened to me exactly. When I went to CEO Space the first time, I was like, wow, wow. I have no idea, but I can tell I can do anything I want. So what is it that I used to want to do? You know, I had to do a big journey there. And
That's
I think
funny.
a lot of people are like that. We get conditioned through school or life or whatever, and all of a sudden we're living this life that maybe has very little to do with what we dreamed about when we were little, because nobody asked us what our dream was lately.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I know. What do you, whenever I'm doing any kind of communication training, I'm asking this, I'm keeping this very simple thought in front of my head. Here it comes. What are you needing and what are you requesting?
Mm.
Those two things. That's the quickest way. What are you needing and what are you requesting in this moment? That is the quickest way to stay present. What am I needing? I'm needing contribution. What am I needing? I'm needing support. What am I needing? I'm needing progress. What does that progress look like? Progress looks like getting some more information about this. Progress looks like securing a new client in the next 3 days. Progress looks like, meeting payroll by the end of the week. Whatever those needs are, if you're asking what am I needing and what am I requesting, our physiology is very much like a master computer that is tapping into those resources coming to us when we're focusing on what are we needing and what are we requesting. And that's the thing I keep training my clients to do is getting in that spot. What am I needing and what am I requesting in this moment?
So,
Not what story
oops,
I'm telling myself. Yeah.
say that again, Bill. I talked over you.
Not what story am I telling myself about what I think the world is
Hmm.
or what I think is in the way of what the world is. No. What am I needing and what am I requesting? I'm looking for. I'm choosing to experience this. Yeah.
And would it be safe to say that when you, I mean, it may take some work for some people to recognize their own rumination patterns. They may see it in other people much more easily than they see it in themselves. But asking yourself that question when you know I'm in that, here I am, I'm going into catastrophe, I'm thinking that I'm going to, the money's gone, whatever it is, okay, this is the same old cycle. Ask yourself that question. What am I needing, right?
Right.
And what are you requesting from the universe, from your life, from your
That's
experience?
correct.
And that
Yeah.
will break that for you.
That's correct. Especially, let's say this: as I'm needing connection with somebody. Well, what would that look like? Well, it would look like setting up a connection experience. Call a friend, go to the movies by yourself, and sit next to somebody and just have a connection experience with no expectation. Doesn't have to be there, and watch what happens.
Versus thinking, okay, I need a connection experience, so dang it, I have to find my perfect mate today.
Oh
There are
gosh,
plenty of other ways to get a connection experience if you
no.
were
Yeah,
needing that and looking
yeah.
for that.
There's plenty of ways to get that. So I mean, literally, I said, oh, I want to do it. So I went. You meet. Oh my gosh, when you do it this way, the universe puts the right person there.
Mm-hmm.
I literally went to a movie theater, sat down. Person comes 2 rows behind. There was like nobody there. Says, "Oh, can I come back and join you?" And she goes, "Yeah, I just got back from Afghanistan, and this movie's about Afghanistan. I want to see how right they got it." And oh my gosh, it just opened up this whole narrative about what and it was really fun, and it really made a big difference. You just got to ask, what am I needing? What am I requesting? And then it goes much better. And then get really in touch with what our heart's needs are, not what our head thinks is most important. Doesn't go as well there.
Oh, I wish we could talk forever. Thank you, Bill. So we are pretty much out of time. I want to give Linda and James a chance to introduce themselves, say who they are, what they do, why they hang out with me, anything they want for a minute or two. And Linda, I'm sure that if you have a question for Bill, go ahead. We can go overtime. But Linda, James, then Bill, and then I'll close her up.
All right. Well, Bill, thanks for the presentation. A lot of our audience are self-employed people. We all are responsible a lot of times for our own sales. And I just know that you can take that pen and you can tell me how much I need this pen just based on your observations of who you think I am, whether I'm a student, whether I'm in business, whether I'm, a soccer mom or whatever it is. And I would love for you just to spend a minute or so just talking about how I can sell this pen, the what's in it for me for the different audiences.
Okay, so here's this pen. Let's sell this pen in 4 different ways. Okay, I can sell this pen from a logical quality place. I can sell this pen from a endurance, safety, reliability place. I can sell this pen from a connection and feel and touch and sensitivity place. And I can sell this pen as a extraordinary experience that allows. So what Sarah's doing right now is holding that up. Is the blue was the quality, the analyzer, the green was the durability and the safekeeping, the red was the feel and the kinesthetic, and the yellow was the future orienting of the pizzazz of this feature. It's what audience do I want to capture? So Mercedes is going to sell blue, Volvo is going to sell green, Toyota is going to sell a little more red, and Audi is trying to sell much more yellow and blue these days. It's doing that yellow-blue thing. Every car company is positioned in those different preferences. And so thanks for the question. And the pen can be sold in those 4 different ways too. Are you going to have your Mont Blanc pen, or are you going to have your dollar store pen? Which one are you going to do? It's different audience.
Yeah, I think that's really important because, we are responsible for sales. Remembering the what's in it for me from their perspective is really about what their values are. And you talk a lot about that. So
right.
What you're doing is pretty incredible, and it's just a shame we don't have more time to cover it. So thanks.
Let's bring him back.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So Linda, tell them who you are and what you do.
I am Linda Kay. I am a website designer, developer, and strategist, and I help people promote their business online.
And we're so glad to have you back. We're going to hear about what you've been doing. You've been gone for a while.
Yes, I have.
Hey. You want to say goodbye, James? He's like, I'm in heaven.
I'm James. It's been awesome. It's been really good to have you here, Bill. I always enjoy hearing from you and supping at your feet. You definitely have an insight, a rare insight, really. I catch myself now asking my kids questions, and I think, I just hear Bill in my head once in a while.
I love it.
But yeah, marketing systems, and I really think there is a deep need to return to value, to get away from the cheap and the easy and the quick, and turn that conversation back to value, because we all have an incredible value to offer this world. And if we're always giving that away or discounting it, it's never going to be realized. So it's great to be here. Great to see you.
Thanks, James. Bill, would you like to say goodbye and tell your people how to reach you if they want to find out more?
Yeah, you can You can find me at my website, billstierle.com. And when you get there, you can, if you want more business information, that's on one side of the fence where there's some business consulting and coaching that I provide. Or if you have some interpersonal challenges, you can go to the billstierle.com, the personal coaching versus the corporate coaching. So there's two different choices when you get to billstierle.com. Okay?
Great. Thank you so much, Bill.
Oh, you're
Really
welcome.
fun. Yeah, it's been so much fun. So I will make sure that your website is on the notes for the YouTube channel and Monday Momentum, and
Perfect.
hopefully people will track you down. And I know we're going to want to have you back. So yay, it's fun to have you.
Yay. Thanks,
So
Sarah.
I'm
Really
Sarah
appreciate it.
Coolidge. You can find me right there, mymondaymomentum.com, and please go there and look. You can also go to our YouTube channel, which is Monday Momentum. We want you to like it and love it and share it and subscribe so that other people find out about it because you did. And please let us know what you liked, what you want to hear more of, how you used what we talked about. So if you're going out there today and selling lots of pens, we want to hear about it. We're here for you every Monday to give you a shot in the arm, to give you a little kick, like I said, to get you up and running, because we know what it's like to work from home and how sometimes you can get distracted or maybe feel a little lonesome, like you're the only person that even gets what you're trying to do. And we believe in you and we're cheering you on. That's what we're here for. But now it's time to get to work. So go out there and do it. Get lots of stuff done so that when you slide into home base on Friday, you feel really good about what you did this week. We will see you next Monday. Take care.
Happy
Bye.
Monday.
Happy Monday. Thanks.